He says, I'm considering moving to Oahu in a few years and would like to know what items I should definitely bring with me and what items I definitely do not need to bring because it's cheaper or easier to acquire them on the island than to ship them from the mainland. I'm referring to things like furniture, appliances, dishes, beds, cars, etc. Thanks, guys. So I'm going to open this up to the guys as well. But my first take on it is what I tell people is sell everything. Sell everything. The only thing to perhaps that you want to pay to move over might be a car. Car is going to cost you around $2,500 to $3,000 to ship from the U.S. mainland to Hawaii. You got to decide if it's smarter to sell the car and then buy it again over here, or whether you want to take it with you. Sometimes it does make sense to bring the car with you so you don't have to kind of think about that too much. That would be the only thing. Everything else, clothing, the only clothes you're ever going to use in Hawaii are summer clothes. I had brought, when I had first moved there, I brought over jackets and I had a couple of things. I never used any of them. The only jacket I've ever used is a windbreaker, and I didn't have any windbreakers. So don't bring anything other than summer clothes. Appliances, don't bring any appliances. Blenders, etc. You have no idea what kind of counter space you're going to have at your house. You have no idea how much space you're going to have available or how big your cabinets are going to be. Don't bring any of that over. Maybe you want to bring some utensils over, maybe some really small things. I suppose I would bring over my coffee grinder because I know I'm going to have coffee, and if I had no space in my house at all, I'd still have my coffee grinder. But other than that, don't bring over any furniture. It's super expensive to bring the furniture over, and you don't even know what you're going to be moving into. You have no idea what's going to be happening. So my 2 cents is leave everything behind. Take your valuables, scan your photos, scan the photos digitally. If you have albums, CDs, scan all that, read that in so that you don't take any of that stuff. Just take your valuables and only, your valuables, your summer clothes, and that's about it. That's my 2 cents. I want to hear what you guys think. Dylan, what's your take on what you tell people when they say, what should I move over here?
My take on it is, if you're going to bring a little bit, bring a lot. So what I mean by that is, if you're gonna ship stuff over here, some people have some furniture, a family heirloom dresser or something that they can't live without. If you're gonna ship a few things, it's better to just get an entire 20-foot container and pack it full of stuff. You definitely can get stuff cheaper in the mainland than you can get it here, but shipping stuff individually is going to be extremely expensive. So I've had clients kind of on both ends of the spectrum do what Peter's saying: sell everything, come with nothing, figure it out when you get here. And then the other end of the spectrum is they pack a 40-foot container full of everything that they own and bring it over here. The cost of shipping container is pretty much going to be the same, whether or not it's got 2 things in it or it's totally full. So you want to maximize your efficiency by making sure you bring the maximum if you're gonna ship a few things, because it's about $7,000 to ship a container from the mainland. So you just got to figure out the economics to see if it makes sense. Do you have enough stuff that you're going to save money by not buying new stuff here, or does it not make sense and sell everything and figure it out when you get here?
That 7,000 is a great rule of thumb. You're saying 7,000 to have a container, like a 40-foot container kind of a thing. Is that what you're?
That's a 20-foot container, I believe.
20-foot container.
Yeah.
20-foot container, $7,000. I'm assuming ship it out of California. Is that what is that what the cost is?
Yes, and it's a little bit more if you're gonna ship it from somewhere else, but not that much more, because
Right.
They just put it on a railway and get it. It's the boat that takes the longest once they put it on the boat in California or the West Coast.
Scott, what do you tell people when they tell you, what stuff should I move over here?
Yeah, this is a great question. First of all, to Dylan's response, we better make sure Young Brothers doesn't accidentally drop that container into the ocean over there in Hilo Bay.
Oh man, that's another story. We'll have to kind of what Scott is referring to. There was a
funny comment on that. I was actually showing property in Hilo on Monday, and one of my buddies that lives on the coast saw the containers. And he called me. He's like, "What's going on with that?"
So let me kind of get everybody, to our viewers, up to speed here. There was a story that Young Brothers, who is the local company that ships inter-island containers, somehow literally dropped 12 containers, fell off the ships, and were literally floating around in the ocean, loosely kind of, I don't know how they were like so buoyant, but that's kind of what we're talking about. So that's the Young Brothers joke. So Dylan, now what was that again? Now you had your buddy who saw containers floating around.
Yeah, he lives on the coast and has an ocean view, and it basically fell off in North Hilo. So he could see them. He was wondering what it was, and then later on in the news, he found out that it was containers.
So hopefully there's insurance for those containers. All right, great. So I'm sorry, Kay, we got a little bit sidetracked. Scott, let's finish off with where you were started with this.
Yeah, no, this is a conversation I have with a lot of clients, and especially the military clients that I've been working with, because the government will ship their goods no charge. So that the tendency is to not want to have to purge all that stuff and just bring everything. And I've had plenty of times where people are wanting to buy their home to fit their furniture. And it's the complete backwards concept of what you really want to do. And our homes, because we're limited in land, our land and our homes tend to be smaller over here. Our rooms tend to be smaller. And then there's the cost factor that you got to weigh in over here. I usually tell people, if it's not something that's of significant value or significant importance to you, try not to bring it, try to rebuy it over here. Pick the house that you want, then go and buy the furniture to fit the house, not the other way around. And if you bring a lot of stuff over here, okay, where are you going to store it in the meantime? A lot of times people have to get storage containers here. And I've got clients that have been storing things for 2-3 years. The costs on that start significantly adding up. So the more that you can purge on the mainland side before coming here, the better off you are. And the less that you come with, the better. Come with just the important items. You can rebuy them over here. They may be a little more costly than they would be on the mainland, but overall, I feel like you end up coming out a little more affordable on this side when redoing it over here.
This has been a great discussion. I really want to thank you guys. This has been such a nice variety of sort of thoughts. I think dealing with the big, go big or go home kind of a thing, either pack a container and spend $7,000 to move it over. And to your point, Scott, bring over just the valuables, because you're going to pay, why, don't fit the house to the furniture. And then the other one is storage costs. Storage is, real estate is expensive, therefore storage is expensive, and you're going to pay for that.
The other thing you got to consider is mindset. When people come from, especially a cold climate, they need 3,000 square feet because they spend a lot of time in their house and they have a ton of furniture to fill that 3,000 square feet. And they come to Hawaii and they think, wow, man, these homes are 12, 13, 14, 1,500 square feet. They seem really small, but you don't take into account the 1,000, 1,500 square foot lanai, wraparound lanai that you're going to get with that house. And we literally spend 50% of our time outside. We eat dinner outside on the lanai. Every barbecue is outside. We drink coffee in the morning outside. You don't really need to spend that much time in your house, and you don't need as much furniture to fill that house up. And you may need different types of furniture, because you're not going to put a nice leather couch in your lanai. You're going to want some outdoor furniture that's going to hold up to the weather. So that's always something to consider, is the type of furniture that you need.
Yeah, those are all great points. We had a follow-on, a quick one from Jana. Says, when you ship your car, can you put boxes in it? No. In fact, you can't even fill the tank. You can't even have a full tank of gas in that car. If I'm not mistaken, they want you to have less than a quarter tank of gas, which of course makes sense from a safety perspective, but you cannot put anything in that car. So sorry, Charlie. I had a couple of folks who had asked me, oh, hey, how about if I take a van? Can I bring a van and stuff it full of materials? Like, no, you can't do any of that. All right.